Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell, and happy Remembrance Day to everybody in Canada. Happy Veterans Day to everybody south of the border. Really big day. Obviously, we have to remember everybody that's put in the service for our country and all the people that sacrificed their lives. Really good to celebrate it. Disappointing that you can't go down to your local cenotaph or city hall or areas around the countries and show your respects, but virtually it was done around North America, and yeah, really nice to be able to show our respect to the veterans and the freedoms that we have. So, but today is a pretty historic day. We're on the verge of a November Masters for the first time in over 100 years. They played some November Masters back in the 1890s, and it's always been April. Because of the COVID pandemic, it's been shifted 7 months back, and that meant that the defending champion Tiger Woods had his green jacket in his house for 19 months. Unprecedented, but he had to give it back to the Masters staff this week and tries to defend his title this time. It's going to be really fun to break this down. I've been super excited all week, and it's really going to be fun to invite Casey O'Donnell back into the mix. We haven't seen Casey since the 2020 season finished, and I'm really glad to have you here today, Casey. Hey, happy Wednesday. Happy Remembrance Day.
Excellent, man. Yeah, it has been a long time. It's going to be very exciting to see this Masters play out here in November. A totally different course than what we've ever seen before. So it's going to be really exciting to see.
Yeah, it sure does look different. You've never seen the course look this way. They don't have any ropes. They don't have any grandstands. You're standing on one hole and you can see over to tee off boxes and other fairways and other greens, and it's bizarre. I've never seen Augusta look like this, and it's pretty amazing. It's going to be tough for some guys like Tiger, I think. Not playing in front of a crowd that can give him that energy, but I think it's going to be good for some guys. A lot of people have been saying Rory is going to probably excel without the crowd. Where do you think it's going to be for most of the guys?
Yeah, I think it opens up the field to a lot of different players, but the top players like Woods, Rahm, DJ, that they'll be struggling without the crowds there to cheer them on and to put that intimidation to some of those other players. We hear those roars in other holes, and you know exactly what's going on all the time.
Yeah,
it's going to be a little bit quieter out there.
Yeah, so much more quiet. Yeah, it's going to be very strange, and it's too bad that fans can't be there, but I'm glad that they were able to put this on. They had to cancel the Open Championship outright, but they put on this here in November. There are some big changes, and one of the biggest changes is that because there's not as much sunlight, daylight, they're going to have to go off number 10 and number 1 tees to start on Thursday, Friday. That's going to be a very different experience for the guys going off on 10. Right away, you have to play a really tough hole on 10. Amen corner awaits you. Do you think we're going to see the guys that play that first struggle more than the guys that are teeing off on 1 traditionally?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty hard to say. It is a tough start right on the back 9. If you get through that back 9 at a pretty good score, then you could maybe accelerate your round. You have a slightly easier 9 for your back 9, but that weather is going to be a huge factor for sure. Tomorrow is not looking good there. It's looking pretty soggy. It's been pretty soggy all week so far. So that ball's not going to be flying so far. Maybe lose a little bit of time for the for weather delays, and the daylight's fading fast. So I think they'll be hard pressed to get them all in for tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, they seem to be happy with temperature. I think they were quite worried that it would be really cold and it would be tough on guys like Tiger because of the older bones, being 44 years old. And, there's so many old guys that play this tournament. One of the tournaments that just allow you to play. If you've won, you can play until you can't play anymore. And so we see a guy like Fred Couples playing in his 35th Masters this time. And he always seems to be in the mix. He can't compete on the regular tour on a daily basis, weekly basis, but he comes to the Masters. He's played it 35 times. He knows how to play it. He seems to always shoot really well. And it would be tough if it was really cold and wet.
Yeah, they lucked it there. I think today was something like 30 degrees, but wet. So it's, I think, mid-20s is what they're calling for over the weekend. So, yeah, very comfortable temperatures. But Freddie Couples, yeah, he's got that silky swing still. He's hitting those wedge shots very crisp. He knows the greens. He could be on the leaderboard. I'm not sure if he'd win, but he'll be up there, I'd say, at one point.
Yeah. I saw he played some practice rounds this week with Justin Thomas and Tiger Woods. They did that last year and this year. It was a lot of fun to watch them out there, having a good time, really getting along. Justin was asking Freddie a lot of questions about the course, and he was asking Tiger a little bit. Tiger wasn't so willing to share some secrets, but Freddie was definitely more than accommodating, and they had a lot of fun. It was great to watch those three out there.
Yeah, that was a good little practice round for those guys. I saw Rom and Jose Maria Olafabo. Olafabo was giving Rom a little chipping lesson on one of the holes, so just passing that torch down and a little bit of knowledge from the course. It's always good. I think Rom's, well, you saw his hole in one that he skipped across the water on 16. He's looking in fine form for this week.
Yeah, that was his second hole in one of the week. He hit one on Monday, then he hits one on Tuesday. That was one of the greatest shots you have to ever see. And it was his second shot. He was just practicing. He hit one within 2 feet. Then he's decided to go and try to skip it across the water. If you haven't seen it, for any of the viewers and listeners, watch it. You can find it online. John Rahm, hole in one, Masters 2020. What a shot that was. It ended up skipping about 3 times on the water, hit the bank, went up, it went around the back of the green, and it just hit the slope and came all the way down and in. And it must have taken about 30 seconds for that ball off his club to go into the hole. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was. You've used all the terrain. Really showcases how much you have to be creative on the course, placing it in certain spots to let it roll and just let it die over a hill and it'll roll out 30 feet. It's a really tough course that way.
That brought me back to a memory of Vijay Singh doing that as well. Do you remember seeing that shot he did years ago, skipping it over the water and putting it into the hole?
Oh, I don't remember that one, but I've seen a few of those. They seem like, yeah, Vijay, he's in the mix again. He'll be teeing it up this week.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you mentioned 16, and the hole 16 has one of the most vivid memories for me in Masters history. 2005, Tiger and Chris DeMarco were battling down the stretch, and Tiger hits it wayward on 16 on the left side of the green. Him and his caddy walk up to it, and they start trying to evaluate how they're going to approach this shot. The pin, they were about pin high, but they couldn't hit it that direction because if it went past the hole, it's going back into the water. So he had to walk the green and figure out where they're going to hit it. He hit it up on top of the hill, and it rolled down. It stopped on the very edge of the cup and then falls in. It was one of the most epic moments I've ever had watching sports, watching golf. I was watching it with one of my best buddies, Polo Aguado, and we just jumped up, high-fiving, hugging, cheering. It was just one of those most epic moments. Do you remember where you were watching that, who you were watching it with? That was a moment that's hard to forget.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was watching that with my dad there. It was pretty exciting moment there, just to see where you see him eyeing where he's going to land, and his eyes are just scanning the horizon, and he just laser focus in and then chips it up. And it didn't look like it was, when he first hit it, didn't look that good, and it just kind of rolled and better and just tracking the whole way. They run up and they're cheering. Oh yeah, it was very exciting.
Yeah, it was so epic how it stopped right on the edge of the cup. And you've seen other shots. They were showing the ball only during the live footage, but they showed later Tiger and his caddy Steve Williams kind of coming up closer to the green and both looking, oh my God, no, it can't stop here. And then they sort of crouched down a little bit, and then it luckily just fell right into the hole. And then they had some bad high fives, but they were just so excited. It was epic. And that Tiger needed that because he ended up bogeying the last two holes, tying Chris DeMarco, went into a playoff, and he won on the first playoff hole. But yeah, just an epic Masters moment, something that nobody's going to ever forget watching that. I have huge memories of so much of the Masters, watching it with my dad, watching it with both my grandfathers. I watched the 2004 Masters with my grandfather on the Sunday when Phil Mickelson won his first major. And my grandfather went into the hospital. After that day, he left the care home that he was in, and I never saw him again. It holds a special memory for me, him and I, and my mom, and a nurse that was there at his care home. We watched the Masters together, and it was just such a great moment seeing Phil finally realize a lifelong dream and having that moment with my grandfather, who I never, ever did see ever again.
That's a good memory for sure. That was a amazing tournament, and you were telling me that story before, and yeah, it's a good heartwarming story how much golf can bring a lot of people together.
Yeah. The year before, Mike Weir won the Masters. All the guys that are in the tournament with Mike Weir this year that are Canadians said he was their hero. They watched that. They decided they wanted to be golfers for their career. There are 4 guys in the majors. It's the first time 4 Canadians have made the majors, made the Masters tournament since 1965. So really epic Masters this year, and all the guys are playing quite well. I think all of them are excited. Nick Taylor for the first time playing the Masters. The other guys have played it a few times. It's going to be fun to watch these 4 guys tee it up. The 4 of them played together yesterday, and now they're all going to tee it up. I have their tee times later on, but are you excited to see all these 4 guys?
It's good to see all those Canadians out there. Yeah, when we won it in 2003, that was a great epic battle he had there. Kind of didn't have the greatest round on Saturday and bounced back, had a 68 on the Sunday, and made that knee knocker, 6-footer on 18, like that to force the playoff. But that was quite resilient play by him.
Sure was, yeah. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and yeah, there's so many moments I can look back on. I've mentioned a few of them, but yeah, that win by Tiger Woods last year was just so incredible. It was a 14-year gap between his win, his last Masters win, and this Masters win. A lot of people didn't think he'd ever be able to pull it off, all the injury, all the difficulties he's had in his life. And he was finally able to put it together. Everybody sort of blew it around him on Sunday 19 months ago, and he was able to finally pull it off. And it was so great to see him come off the green, hug his son, hug his daughter, hug his mom, like he hugged his dad in 1997 when he won his first Masters. Yeah, that was pretty fun to watch last year, wasn't it?
It was incredible to see that he's back in form. That from 97 to 2019, it was quite the span there, quite the run he's had at the Masters and everything that's happened in between.
Yeah.
Well, he's else to see him win.
He's got 5 green jackets. Jack has 6. He's got 82 wins, still tied with Sam Snead. Do you see Tiger being able to pull it off? He has struggled this year, hasn't played a lot. Do you think we're going to see him in the mix on Sunday?
I would like to see it. I hope so, but I'm not really sure if he'll be quite as sharp to be on that front page of the leaderboard come Sunday. But you never know. He's got so much course knowledge, so much experience there. He knows those little subtleties of the greens, and those are going to make the difference. You're making those 6 to 8 foot putts all week. That's where your champion's going to come from.
There's 26 first-timers for this Masters. The last first-timer to win it is Fuzzy Zeller in 1979. So you can probably discount most of those guys never having experienced this. It's obviously a new Masters with no crowds and playing in November, but I wouldn't count on a lot of these first-timers to be up there. So out of the 93 golfers, we can probably eliminate about 25 of those guys. And then there's guys that, keep playing every year because they've won. They're in their 50s, 60s, even maybe 70s, discounted. So the field is actually quite small compared to most of these tournaments. I think it bodes well for seeing the cream rise to the top. We're going to see, probably the top 10 in the world, top 10 of this leaderboard.
Yeah, I think so. You're going to get a couple people sneak it in, but yeah, Sunday when the dust settles, you're going to have a lot of the top players up there. Just the pressure of the major of the Masters just gets to a few guys.
Bryson DeChambeau is the odds-on favorite. What do you expect from him after his big win at the U.S. Open, finally breaking through in the majors, 6-stroke victory there? Do you think he's going to have that type of success here?
Yeah, I think it's a tough call because he drives it so far. He's going to be playing a few holes so different than all the other players. Like the par fives, he has 7-iron or less into them. Yes, even up to like a wedge, he may be hitting into some of these par fives. Drivable greens or just a short pitch. Without the crowds in the grandstands, too, you have a little bit more room to spray it and let it roll out. I'm not sure if he has that touch around the greens, but he's looked rigid before and he's putted amazing. So it's hard to say, but I don't think he's quite there. He's tinkering with so many things that it may not be to his advantage, but that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's good call. Dustin Johnson has been on fire lately. His last 6 starts, he's got 2 wins, 3 runner-ups, and tied for 6th at the U.S. Open. 2nd last week at the Houston Open. DJ, was so phenomenal in the post-COVID restart. He played so well coming in, this season here. Great. I personally think Dustin Johnson's the guy to beat.
Yeah, he's a good pick for sure. He's been playing extremely well. He looks really focused. He's playing really well in Houston there last week. His form looks really good, and his putting has just been spectacular.
Rory Mcilroy is trying to become the 6th male golfer to have the career Grand Slam. This is his 12th chance at winning the Masters. He has not played well since that COVID break. He was playing good up until that hiatus, and he hasn't really rounded into form yet. What do you expect from Rory?
I think he's going to play pretty good. He is kind of flying a bit under the radar. He's had a few good chances. In 2011, he had a good look at the green jacket, but a horrible back 9 there. He snap hooked it on 10 to start it off, and it all went to hell there. But yeah, I think he may be one of those players that may sneak in and start playing good, may find his form on Augusta.
COVID, unfortunately, has reared its head around the world. The golfing tournaments have been able to continue fairly unscathed, except for not having fans there. But this week, Sergio Garcia, Joaquin Niemann, and David Duval even tested positive. He can't be on the commentating team. Tough to see those 3 guys have to miss the Masters, which is something that they obviously look forward to so much every year.
Yeah, that's a real tough one for Sergio there. He's been playing really well coming into it as well. So that's going to be a tough one for him to be watching it from home.
Yeah, exactly. Very tough. Okay, why don't we get into some of the pairings that look really fun. I'm pretty excited to see some of these groupings. As I said, there's going to be guys coming off hole number 1 and the 10th hole. They've got tee-off starting at 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. The very first guy that's supposed to step up to the tee tomorrow on hole number 1 is Corey Connors, the Canadian. What do you expect from Corey?
Yeah, he has really good greens and regulation stats. I think you're going to see some solid play. I hope he shoots a course record, but realistically, I think he's looking at probably good solid couple under. Just the way he's been playing, and again the weather. See how wet it is there. The ball's not rolling out. It's going to be an advantage on the green, so it'll be interesting to see. But I think you see some good things from him tomorrow.
Okay, so and the next grouping that is fun to watch is Xander Schauffele, Jason Kokrak, and Henrik Stenson off at 7:44. It's going to be really fun. Mike Weir tees it up at 8:17 with Rafael Cabello Bello and Matt Wallace. Phil Mickelson, 3-time major winner. Abraham Anser and Bernd Weisberger play at 11:27. Phil has 2 victories on the Champions Tour, knows this course better than anybody, has played it so many times. Do you expect Phil to play really well, coming off the confidence of this Champions Tour's win?
Yeah, I think he's going to ride some of that confidence. A couple of wins there. He's winning his first tour that he played, and I think he's doing really well. He's really coming into form. He's flirting the 48-inch driver there. He's been trying see if he. I don't think he put that in, but he was trying for a bit longer distance off the tee to catch up to Bryson maybe. But he does hit bombs, and he still has a really good chance there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Some of the other guys that I'm looking at, this grouping has Adam Scott, Colin Morikawa, and Tyrrell Hatton. Colin Morikawa, first time at the Masters, but he already has a major win, winning the PGA Championship earlier this year. Adam Scott, a Masters winner, and Tyrrell Hatton playing great. That's going to be a fun threesome to watch.
Yeah, I think Morikawa's got a pretty good chance this week. Even though he hasn't played here before, he knows how to play in that pressure cooker. He won the PGA Championship there. Shot on 16 where he hit that driver to like 8 feet on the final round. And just hitting those shots in the pressure cooker, I think he knows what it takes to win, and I think he's got a good chance.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Some of the other ones that are going to be really great. This one just blows me away. It's got Justin Thomas, Matthew Fitzpatrick, and Brooks Koepka. Wow. I can't wait to see those 3 guys together. It's going to be really, really fun. All 3 magnificent golfers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Koepka's looking to get back into a bit of form there too. It's that should be a really exciting one to watch.
Rory Mcilroy tees it up with Dustin Johnson and Patrick Cantlay. We talked about Rory with the career, trying to get the career Grand Slam, DJ #1 in the world and playing really great. And Patrick Cantlay, and a lot of people don't talk about him, but really solid year and a fantastic golfer. I think one of these 3 is going to merge. I think they're going to be at the top of the leaderboard. Possibly all 3 of these guys all the way through the weekend.
Yeah, all 3 of them have a good legitimate chance for sure.
Okay, and then we're going on to tee number 10. Tee number 10 starts it off. First off the bat, we've got Webb Simpson, Mark Leishman, and Hideki Matsuyama at 7-11. Webb Simpson, what a fantastic year he's had. He's been just playing super golf, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about him very much. I think he could be a dark horse.
Yeah, it's always nice when you're not getting the pressure from the media, and you can just kind of do his thing, go about the course, and not have to worry about all that extra.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Okay, our next Canadian is Adam Hadwin. He's teeing it up with Scotty Scheffler, who was the Rookie of the Year, and Kevin Kisner, 7:22. I love Adam Hadwin. I love his game. I love his short game. I love his putting. He's not the longest on the tour, but I hope that, he can get into good positions and have a really good tournament. It's going to be fun to watch him.
Yeah, he finished strong last week there on Sunday, so he's got those low scores in him, so that'll be nice to see him.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Okay, then we've got Bryson DeChambeau, Louis Oosthuizen, and John Rahm. We talked about Rahm with those 2 holes in 1. Obviously, tons of confidence, playing really fantastic. He's number 2 in the world with Bryson, who's odds-on favorite. Man, I wish I was at the tournament following this pairing around the course. It'd be really fun to watch these guys play.
Yeah, absolutely. I was at season 2, which I'm sure you remember his beautiful shot there on 2 where he hits, I don't know, it was a 3 or 4 the green and rolls about 90 feet into the hole for double eagle. That was awesome. Beautiful shot.
No
he
kidding.
knows his way around that course.
No kidding. Okay, the next featured pairing has Patrick Reed, who won in 2017, Paul Casey, playing really fantastic, great golf, and Tony Finau, who's also really increased his length and is hitting it a lot farther this season than he ever has. Yeah, it'll be fun to watch these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's another good group for sure.
Tiger Woods with Shane Lowry, the Open champion, and Andy Ogletree, the defending U.S. amateur champion. I think, yeah, it'll be great for an amateur to be able to play with Tiger for the first 2 rounds. And Shane Lowry successful winning his Open championship in Scotland. Really historic win for him. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing those guys tee it up.
Yeah, that's a really good grouping there. Shane Lowry, I think he's got a good chance this week too. Especially if the weather gets a little bit sloppy and stuff like that, he's proven to play in those tough conditions. And yeah, Ogletree, that's a huge career boost for him. So that should be really good to watch that group.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And our 4th Canadian, Nick Taylor, tees it up at 11:05, one of the last tee-off times of the day. I think they tee it up to around 12 o'clock. Yeah, so that'll be 8 o'clock our time, Nick Taylor teeing it up. Yeah, lots of really fun pairings and a lot of fun guys to watch. Yeah, we've really been able to break down a ton of the guys, and man, this tournament I'm super excited about. I want to get into our Draftkings picks in a second here. I just do want to mention our partners and sponsors. Anchor's been a really great partner and sponsor for Complete Sports Media. They've been fantastic at posting on multiple podcast platforms for us, and they call themselves the easiest place to make a podcast. So go to Anchor FM, and you will not be disappointed. It's a really great place to start. Also, Verbero, the hockey equipment and apparel company, industry leader in technology, performance, and value. And they feature the V350 stick, the lightest stick on the market at 350 grams, super explosive, tons of power, and super light, which is fantastic for your hockey teams and games. So do want to mention Pampas and Possibilities. They design and sell dried florals, floral arrangements, and they do installations. Designers of handmade, curated, bohemian things with West Coast vibes at really reasonable prices. And last but not least, Forever Living. They are the aloe vera company. They grow and manufacture aloe vera-based products for health and beauty. And for all of our partners and sponsors and all the products, go to CompleteSportsMedia.com, and you can go to our partners and sponsors tab, find out tons of information, purchase products at discounted rates. So thank you to all of them. Thank you for making us be able to keep bringing you the Complete Sports Media podcast. So were you able to get some DraftKings picks in? Were you able to pull that off?
Yeah, I did take a look at that. I put it together one group of them. So
okay,
I went with the Corey Connors, Yuxin Lin. He's one of the amateurs playing in the second Masters. Morikawa, Oosthuizen, John Rahm, and Tiger Woods.
Oh wow!
I think we'll see what that's the group I'm going to go with. We'll see what happens.
Good for you, yeah.
I think.
Yuxin Lin was he played great in one tournament, so he had got a lot of fantasy points in the one, and he was very inexpensive. I think he was $6,100 on DraftKings, and I thought about him too to try to fit in some of those big bombers and some of the top guys, but I wasn't able to go with him. But I went into a few different categories with DraftKings. If you go on to DraftKings.com, go on to the golf tab, you'll be able to go and find a few different ways to play. So the classic way to play is you just pick 6 golfers. You have to fit their salary structure. They evaluate each guy and give them a salary, and then you have to fit it into $50,000. So my classic lineup, let's see here. We've got Dustin Johnson. No, here we go. Yeah, there it is. That's the best where to have it. Okay, sorry. We got Bryson DeChambeau, Webb Simpson, Scott Scheffler, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Abraham Answer, and Corey Connors. I was able to get those guys into my classic lineup. And then, yeah, I created a couple of other classic lineups. I've got another one that's got Brooks Koepka, Patrick Cantlay, Tiger Woods, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Abraham Answer, and Lanto Griffin. So, yeah, enjoy that. I think that one, yeah, is going to do pretty good for me. I also have the tiers. So they put about 3 or 4, even 6 golfers per tier, and then you have to pick the best one you think out of that one. So this is the one that I've actually got 2 tiers. I'll tell you, the first one is Justin Thomas, Patrick Cantlay, Tyrrell Hatton, Webb Simpson, Matthew Fitzpatrick, and Cameron Smith. And then my other one has John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Tyrrell Hatton, Webb Simpson, Answer, and Smith as well. And there's also Showdown, which is just the one round, and you can pick your favorites coming out of the one round. And let's see, that one's Dustin Johnson, Webb Simpson, Tyrrell Hatton, Louis Oosthuizen, Abraham Answer, and Lanto Griffin. So please go on to DraftKings.com, put together a lineup. It's a lot of fun. You can do it for free. You can put a little bit of money into it, and you can put a lot of money into it. Whatever you do, yeah, enjoy it. Have a lot of fun. It adds a lot of extra drama to the weekend, and it's fun. You can create a group that all your friends can go in, and then you can have bragging rights if you're able to beat them. So enjoy it. DraftKings.com adds a lot of excitement to your Masters weekend. So yeah, I'm excited. I really look forward to the Masters every April. It's been way too long of a wait this year, 19 months between tournaments. I'm glad they were able to pull it off. When the Open Championship decided they weren't going to be able to have a tournament, I thought that was going to be it for most of these majors. But kudos to the team there that was able to put it on. And we're going to see a fun tournament. It's going to be different, but I think it's still going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great tournament. It'll be really great to watch because with the fans there, they got more coverage of the course and be able to see way more of the course. They have a couple drones out there they're going to be showing. Get to see the course from a whole different perspective.
Yeah, it's incredible the difference that it can be without fans. Never really considered, these tournaments, how they would look. A lot of the tournaments, you don't get to see the same courses. This is the only major that they play the exact same course every single year and always have. So you remember the holes. You remember some of the magical moments that happen on some of the holes, but you remember them with the grandstands. You remember them with the ropes just completely solid with people. We've seen pretty much every single shot Tiger has ever hit on a lot of these tournaments that he's in contention, and he's always surrounded by thousands and thousands upon people. And for him to not have that, it's just got to be shocking for him to be playing golf and not having anybody following him around. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially the tee shots on these holes. You're hitting a driver, and you'll have the fans all lined up down the side, and you got nobody there. Like it's just it's a totally different feel, a totally different look.
Tiger, for some reason, doesn't start off very well. He's only broken 70 once in his first round. He seems to get in those second and third round is where he makes that big approach, and he gets into the mid 60s. Do you think we're going to see something different out of Tiger this year, or he's going to shoot in the low 70s again?
Yeah, I don't know. He struggles early in the tournament for sure. Like in '97 when he went it there, he shot 40 on that opening 9 and then went on to break all those records. Uh, if the weather cooperates and you get some nice conditions come the weekend, I think he can come in and shoot some low scores. Whether or not Thursday and Friday don't set him up that great, that's be hard to say. But I think you're going to see some good things from him. Some really good shots, anyways.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. The Masters is finally here, Augusta, Georgia, in November. It's going to be really wet, according to the weathermen. They're going to have to play in some pretty atrocious conditions, but it might lend to some really great golf because it's going to firm up the greens. They're going to be easy to shoot right at the flags. They're not going to have to worry about going off the green if they hit it directly at the pins. So it could change the tournament. We don't usually see some really bad weather. Rory Mcilroy has won his majors in weather-delayed tournaments, and so this might help him. It might help some of the other golfers, like you mentioned, Shane Lowry, some of the other guys that play over in Europe where they encounter a lot worse weather than the Americans do. Do you see anybody else that can emerge because they're poor weather golfers?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a couple good players that I like. Morikawa, not necessarily known for playing in bad weather, but I think just his focus and his attitude towards the game is really gonna help him. Maybe not knowing the course as much may actually kind of help him.
He's had such an amazing, fantastic start to his career. He just came on like a world on fire this past year, was able to win 3 times on the PGA Tour, won his first major, and comes in as a first timer. But maybe he can buck the trend and be able to shock the world and win another major and win this Masters.
I'd like to see Phil Mickelson be playing well again. He's in that, like, he's 100-1 shot right now, so pretty long odds for him, but he's had such great success at Augusta, and he can still hit that ball a long way. So I don't think his chances are as bad as 100-1, but I think he's got a good chance.
Yeah. I talked a little bit about some of those previous Masters that are just epic in my memory, and many others. 1997, you mentioned it briefly. Tiger Woods came onto the scene, won by 15 shots. All of a sudden, just shocked the world and blew him away. Came off the green, hugged his father, and it was really neat to see so many years later him hugging his kids as he was able to put on the green jacket again. When Tiger won that year, that was the very last year that Jack Nicklaus ever played the tournament. And the previous year when Phil Mickelson won, that was the very last year that Arnold Palmer ever played the Masters tournament. So it was pretty neat to see Phil winning, starting to emerge on the major scene finally. And we see a legend leave. Tiger having an epic win, and we see another legend leave. It's pretty cool how they have that ceremonial first tee. The legends come out, hit the ball. We saw Arnold, Jack, we saw Sam Snead, Gary Player. And this year, I hear they're going to have Lee Elder, one of the first African-American golfers to ever be on the PGA Tour. He's getting an opportunity to lead off the tournament. It's going to be a pretty neat moment.
Yeah, for sure. And I heard that good chance that Earl Woods may not have gone into the game if it wasn't for Lee. So that's a nice tribute to, like, bring that around full circle.
Yeah, definitely. So great. So let's tee it off. I'm going to be waking up really extremely early for the next couple of days. So I got to get some sleep. I conditioned myself by waking up at 4 a.m. today. I'll be waking up at 4 a.m. the next couple of days. I'm pretty hardcore. I don't expect any of the viewers and listeners to be as hardcore as I am, but enjoy the golf, enjoy the tournament, have a lot of fun, play some DraftKings, go to our website, and let's really have a lot of fun. And I think you and I should meet on Monday and break it down and talk about how much fun this tournament was to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be, no matter what, it's going to be an epic Sunday, that's for sure. The course is going to be so green, and yeah, it's just going to be amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait. Thanks so much for joining me, man. It's been way too long. I'm glad you're looking healthy. You seem great, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself a lot. I'm sure we'll be texting back and forth quite a bit over the weekend. And yeah, let's do it on Monday. Let's wow our viewers with all the talk about how epic of a tournament it was.
Yeah, thanks, Darren. Yeah, look forward to. Thanks for having me.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
Take care.
And yeah, we'll take care. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that was yeah, so much fun as always. Yeah, I've been super excited. As I said, this is golf is such a sport that gets passed down to generations. My grandfather on my father's side was a huge golfing guy. My grandfather on my mom's side was able to watch that last Masters tournament with me, and the excitement of seeing Phil Mickelson finally win the Masters at age 33. Yeah, playing golf with my dad. I played with him a couple of times this fall, and we had a great time. We always watch golf together and talk about it. Good friends. I've been able to watch so many tournaments with so many people. Even when they're not in the same room, we usually call, we text, we keep in touch and talk about some of the most amazing moments. 19 months ago, Tiger with that comeback, one of the greatest comebacks in sports, everything that he's been through injury-wise and not winning for that many years. It was shocking and incredible to see. And I'm sure the Masters is going to offer up another really fun tournament and something that we can talk about for years and years. The coverage is great, and it's a lot of fun. They do a really, really neat job. And when they visit Butler Cabin and they hand out the green jacket, the former champion puts it on the new champion. They talk to the leading amateur. Jim Nance does just a phenomenal job. It's just a really amazing weekend. I hope you watch it, and I hope you tune in again on Monday to hear our breakdown. Thanks so much for your time today. Take care. Love you lots. Bye for now.